Hey guys, it's me. It's Queen Osset Haru, and thank you for joining me for another wonderful edition of Ask an Aquarius. If you haven't already, please hit the red subscribe button, smack the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Also, if you have time, please leave us a positive comment in the comment section and pass this video on to somebody else who might need to hear this. Likewise, stay to the end of the video because I'm going to read two of my favorite comments from previous videos. Now, I want to talk to you guys about this question. It's a really good question and it's very important. So I want to talk to you guys about this, and I would love if you would tell us in the comment section how you feel about this question. I'm going to give you my 2 cents on it, and I would like to hear yours if you want to share. So she said, "Hey Queen, you being a spiritual woman, I was wondering if you would answer this question. Some people are not allowed to go to church and other spiritual services right now during the pandemic. How do you feel about this? Do you feel this is good? My question is because it seems like to me right now people need more spiritual support than less. What do you think?" Now, first of all, I want to say that I agree with this person 100% because over the last couple of weeks, I've talked to my clients a lot more than usual. I've gotten a lot more messages, I've done a lot more readings, I've talked to a lot more people than I normally would. And you're right, people do need more spiritual support right now versus less. You and I are 100% in agreement on that. The problem that I'm having with this is that I don't care if you're Buddhist, if you're Jewish, if you're Catholic, I don't care what your spiritual system is. This is not the time to be gathering in secluded small buildings or large buildings, mega churches, whatever. This is not the time for that. If one person got that Roro, just one person, if one person got that Roro, everybody in there gonna get it. Maybe not everybody, that might be an exaggeration, but if one person got it, a great many people can be infected, and that person might not have no symptoms and not even know they have it. Some people are what they call asymptomatic, and they don't even have symptoms. And some people, their symptoms haven't just started yet. Some people's symptoms, they said, start up to 14 days later. So if I get the virus today and go to church tomorrow, I don't even know I have it yet. And I can infect all those people or many of those people, and then those people are going back to their families, their grandmothers, their children, their husbands, their wives. And it just spreads on and on and on. Right now, this pandemic is really out of control. At least it looks that way in the United States. Other countries seem to be getting it together. But as far as me being in the States, there's no way in God's green earth I would be in the States right now and go to anybody's spiritual service of any kind. That makes absolutely no sense. Yes, people need spiritual support, but we're going to have to get creative with how they get it. Likewise, it seems to me that the only time a pastor or a minister would seriously even consider opening a church, you wouldn't even have to tell me not to open my church. I just wouldn't open it because my first concern would be safety. But also, a lot of people have said to me, well, churches run on tithes, donations. So if you're not open, you're not getting your donation. Who's paying the light bill? Who's paying pastor for his services? So I think that this issue is a big issue. I think that's important because I don't think there's anything wrong with donations. I don't think there's anything wrong with helping the church. I don't see anything wrong with that. Sometimes I don't like the way it's done, for example, because one person was telling me, she said that she had to take her W-2s to the church and prove how much she was making, and because they're supposed to tithe 10% of their income. And she said that she had to come and give the W-2s. And I was like, see, I don't agree with that. I think that a person should just give what they have, what they can afford to give, not a certain percentage, and then prove that that is the percentage. I think that donating is fine though. So I think that a lot of holy people, quote unquote, spiritual leaders, some of them may be thinking about it financially. Like, well, okay, how are we going to keep the lights on, you know? And I think all of these things are valid. So I think that instead of having the church open and having a dangerous situation, this is what I would do if I was a pastor. I would do a church service online every Sunday or whatever schedule they were keeping before. So I would do it on YouTube. I would do it on Facebook. I would do it on Instagram, wherever you can do a live. I would do a live, and all of because I was in a live the other day that had like 200 people in it. So a lot of people can come into a live. I would do a live. I would do my sermon. I would do my, my talking. I would do all of that right there on camera so people get in their spiritual support, and then they can pay their tithes through Cash App, PayPal, or something like that. We need to utilize the technology that we have to keep the spiritual services going and to keep people spiritually supported. Even therapists are doing their therapy sessions on Skype and online in different kinds of ways. So I don't think we should abandon people who are, looking for spiritual support. I think we just have to change how we're doing it. And from what I see, many spiritual leaders are already doing this. Iyanla Vanzant is broadcasting every single day a message about the virus and helping people, in that kind of spiritual way. So a lot of the spiritual leaders are doing that. And I think that that's what the pastors should do. Close the physical building and take it online until after the pandemic is over. It's a win-win for everybody. They still get their tithes, they still get their donations if it's a different kind of spiritual service, and the people still have that support. And then people that need counseling or one-on-one sessions can do it right there online. So that's what I think. I think something else too, and I want to tell you this part. If you're a person who's like, well, Queen, my church doesn't do that. They don't, my synagogue or my temple, they don't do that. They don't do a broadcast. So what can I do? Let me tell y'all something. God, Goddess, Creator, the universe, whatever you call your higher power, if you have one, is not just in that building. They're not just in the temple. They're not, God, or your creator is not just in that one place. Creator is everywhere. Everywhere. So like in my tradition, most people worship at home. So if you can't get to a church, if you can't get to a spiritual service, worship at home. Do it yourself. Get up on Sunday and read the Bible. Do a meditation. Do a prayer session. Do it with your wife and your kids, or your husband and your kids, or your family, whoever's in the house. Sing songs of praise. They got them right there on YouTube. I don't care what spiritual system you're a part of. You can find chants, mantras, psalms, songs, gospel. You can find all of that right on YouTube. So clean up your living room, make it look nice. Put on your Sunday best if that's what you need to do, and sit in the living room with your family and do prayers together. Read from the scriptures together. Have a discussion amongst yourself about what you think it means. Sing songs of praise. Light a candle on the coffee table. You don't have to go to a church or to a temple or to any building. God is always wherever God is invited. If you invite God in, God is going to come in and be with you. Early man, early Christians, early everything worshiped at home. Many times in their family area, dining area, kitchen area, wherever the family congregated. So you don't have to go to a special place to worship God. I don't go anywhere and I worship every day. I do prayers and meditations every day. I have 3 altars in my home. And depending upon what I'm working on, I go to one of the 3 altars. You can build your own special place and put your Bible there, or your Quran, or whatever spiritual books you like to read, a candle, whatever. You can put it right on the coffee table, sit there, even if you're by yourself. Call upon your Creator. Ask them to come to you. Ask for guidance. Flip through your Bible or your book, and wherever you start reading. You don't have to be a theologian to do this, or a priestess to do this. You can worship anywhere. You can worship in your car. So if you really want and need spiritual support, you don't need other men or other women, is what I'm saying. You can go directly to your Creator. You can pray right where you are. How do you think our ancestors did it? Early Christians didn't have a church. They were constantly persecuted. They would go to the catacombs. They would go to somebody's house. They would gather together, but they gathered together in a residence. And before that, back in the old days, they were in a cave, and they would have a little section of the cave where they would do their spiritual stuff. We don't know what it was, but they were doing something, you know? So whatever you're into, spiritually speaking, you don't have to go to a place. God isn't at the church. God is everywhere. God is inside of you. Any place you invite God or Goddess into, God is going to be there. So don't feel like you have to go someplace for your salvation. You don't. If it's all about worshiping, if it's all about God and Goddess, then you can do that right in your home. You can meditate right in your home. You can listen to Dharma talks right in your home. Any kind of spiritual stuff you want to do from any spiritual system, you can do it right in your home. So if you don't have access to the things that I'm talking about, like as far as your church is concerned, if your church isn't able to do that, then you can do it that way. And if you're really concerned about being able to donate and tithe during this time, you talk to your spiritual leaders and see what they're doing. I know some people are still doing it right now. Some people really feel strongly about it. So it's really up to you what you choose to do and how you choose to do it. But just know that there are alternatives. I don't feel like the building itself is what's important. What's important is your relationship with your Creator. So that relationship doesn't have to stop because the building is closed. Okay? So that's how I feel about it. And if I'm a spiritual leader, or if you're a spiritual leader, or if you're talking to spiritual leaders, encourage them to close the churches, to close the centers. Encourage them to do things online. Encourage them to be safe. Encourage them to use the technology that we all have at our fingertips. Okay? All right, guys, let's take a look at two of my favorite comments. Lily has received one of the highest numbers of hearts from me. So Lily says a lot of good stuff. Lily said, you know you're watching your favorite YouTuber when you give them their thumbs up soon as you click on the video. The Queen always has great content. Love you, sis. I love you too, Lily, and thank you so much for commenting, and thank you for watching. And Lily, one thing about her comment that is really important, whenever you watch a video, give it a thumbs up. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Like a lot of times when I watch a video, I give it a thumbs up immediately, and then if I don't like it, I take it back. That's how I kick it. I give it to them immediately so I won't forget, and then if I don't like it, then So my thing is that if you like a video, give it a thumbs up, because the YouTube algorithm is not kind to us. And if people are not liking your stuff and commenting on your stuff, YouTube basically figures that nobody like you. So nobody like you anyway, so bye. So if you really do like something, that's the easiest and the free way to support the YouTubers that you like. And that's why we always talk about it at the beginning of our videos, because comments, likes, and shares are what the algorithm loves. So we all appreciate those. Then Dawn IE said, oh my God, this Aquarius is in total agreement with you. You crack me up. You know, Dawn, I got jokes. I got jokes for days, okay? So I'm glad you think I'm funny because some people do not. So I appreciate that 100%. All right, guys, it's time for me to get going. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to get a reading done, please email me and I'll give you an appointment. Come back soon because I have a lot more to say. See you guys later.